Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back here. NAIC VOD review. Actually, back with another round six matchup. There was two round six matchups that were like recorded and streamed, so I thought, why not? We got Natalia playing. I think it's just Gustavo's deck, Gustavo's Hoopa concoction, versus John Kettler playing ZoroPod with an Orangaroo. So this matchup can be close, but John should just be favored with the Orangaroo. But it can be close. So we see Natalia starting off. Hoopa set up Lotto into the Dark Energy. Would have probably preferred a DCE. You want to get the Mewtwo rolling, but you don't want the Mewtwo to take a hit. I mean, you're okay if the Mew attacks into Mewtwo. Actually, then you just clean it up on the next turn. Actually, Dark Energy is probably preferred there on the bench there. So we see Kettler. The prizes are Kettler did nothing important in Natalia's prizes except there's a Lele. I think that she only plays the one Lele. Kettler has two puzzle prize, which can be pretty big. So Kettler plays Coco, a Rangaroo. Okay. So Kettler does play Coco and a Rangaroo that we are seeing him take immediately. So let's talk about this after he selects his third Pokemon and why this is wrong. All right. So I'm actually okay. I'm not even okay with the Coco take here. So this is... Oh, I'll see what he has the rest of his hand. He maybe has more Zoruas in hand. You don't want to not set up Zoroarks in this matchup. You still want to be able to trade and draw cards. And, yeah, trade and draw cards. Like, you still want to be able to trade and draw cards. Like, going into a lone Orangaroo doesn't win you the game. Because then that means you're not drawing enough cards to be able to always deal with Natalia's threats. And when you get end, you're not going to be able to draw enough cards to get out of the end to draw what you need to respond to the situation. So this is actually... I think this is really poor from Kettler. You don't need Orangaroo this early, especially when the active is Mewtwo and you can just knock out that first and then transition from there. I would have liked to have seen just triple Zorua. You still just want to trade. You still just want to draw cards and overpower your opponent with card draw. I think it's actually super poor from Kettler. This should just be triple Zorua. As long as he doesn't have... oh, no, I think he didn't prize double Zorua. He prized double puzzle. I think he prized one Zorua. This should just be triple Zorua. As long as you don't have 3 Zorua or 3 Zoroark prized... This should just be, or 2 Zoroark prize. This should just be triple Zorua. You just want to trade and draw cards still. Like, this is kind of ridiculous. I don't know what he's thinking here with the Coco and this. You don't use them this early. This Mew's going to take the first knockout on the Mewtwo. And then from there, you transition into finding a way to deal with Hoopa. Maybe 2 Zorua in that. I still think it should just be triple Zorua. You just need to draw cards. If you don't draw cards, your deck doesn't function. That's how the deck functions. Read the Orangaroo. Yeah, and then he's gonna get punished so bad here for not taking more Zoruas. All of his draw power is now gone. I like this play from Natalia. Just take out the Zorua. This matchup is tough. Once Natalia knows he plays the Orangaroo, Natalia probably knows this matchup is gonna be tough. So do what you can immediately to try and mess up your opponent's setup and take out the lone Zorua. Once again, I think this should have just been triple Zorua, and then you go from there and like build your strategy out of what you want to do. He goes 1 Zorua with 1 Zoroark in hand, I think. I don't even know what he has in hand for the rest of his cards. I know he has at least 1 Zoroark. And then no follow-up. And then look at this. And then now he's going to have to... I think he has no supporter. He's going to go 60 and confused. Like, this is super poor. Oh my god, I can't even, like... Right, this is super poor opening from Kettler. Like, should have just been triple Zorua. You don't need a Orangaroo this early. You're a Zoroark deck. You don't play draw supporters. You need to draw cards through Zoroark. This is actually, yeah, a super poor turn 1 choice here from Kettler. Definitely should have been triple Zorua. I can't even, like, emphasize it enough. Should have been triple Zorua. Acerola response is great here from Natalia. She's just going to hit into the Orangaroo. She also even has the Kartana if she wants to take away the DCE, which I don't see a reason not to. I don't know why she wouldn't take away the DCE here. It means that Orangaroo can't retreat. It means it can't attack next turn, so hopefully you just knock it out. Oh, but then you do that much less damage with the Mewtwo. How much damage are you doing? 40, 50? Okay, never mind. I guess you leave the DCE on because you want to be able to set up the 2-shot. No, I'm wrong on that. You want to be able to kill it. I don't know, though. You know Kettler's hand is dead. He could 3-shot it over 3 turns instead. Now it's going to confuse you, and you'll have no way to knock it out next turn anyways. You're not afraid of resource management because it's not getting back anything relevant. It would just make his deck clunkier. I actually think I like the Kartana still because if he does confuse you, then there's a chance you don't knock it out next turn. and then he knocks you out, or he just leaves you active, confused. But I guess that at that point you could retreat to the Hoopa, hopefully, and attack with the Hoopa. Um, I don't actually know which one's right here. It's close. It's close between Kartana and Away the Energy or not. So we actually see the ace roll from Kettler, so that makes the decision at that end. Once again, I can't stress how much enough like how poor that Bridget choice was from Kettler. It should have been triple Zorua. Go draw some cards, my guy. You're playing Zoroark. So he Bridgeted for one Zorua, having just one Zoroark index, so he's thinking he's going to be able to set... He even has the Evo Soda. I think that was from his hand from turn 1. So you could have set up turn two double Zoroark for sure. Going into the Coco spread. Super weak Coco spread. Only 20 on 2 Pokemon. Over to Natalia. Kartana's away the DC now. It's the same situation though. So if she wasn't gonna do it last turn, I guess she has the DCE now. But I think she has the DCE last turn too. So she could have still done like the retreat and then attack with Hoopa. She can hit it for 50. I would have been fine just leaving the Coco here and two-shotting it. I think she should have actually just two-shot the Coco. It would do what, 20 more here, 20 more there. That's not relevant. The first 20 on this is relevant because now Zoroark can kill it. I mean, Mew can already kind of take the knockout. You don't want to put Mew up there, though, if you don't have to. So Zoroark can now already kill it. They'll eventually draw Field Blower and give it to the Fighting Fury Belt. So I would like to have seen to just leave the DCE and just punch it. Don't bench the Kartana. So we finally see a Lele draw from so many Zoroarks in hand. Should have just gone for the Zoruas. I'm actually going to check. I'm going to make sure that he didn't prize... I don't think he prized. Yeah, there's a Zorua there. See, now he's just going for Bridget for Zoruas. This should have been his opening. How many are in there? Did he prize 2? Maybe he did prize 2. Okay, but he still should have taken the second one then. At the very least, take the second Zorua over the Oranguru. I think the Coco's fine. You don't get Wimpod here either, though. I think you want to look for double puzzle to get another Zorua in play. Wimpod is actually terrible in this matchup. Golisopod is actually a terrible attacker in this matchup. Especially, it just kind of clogs your bench. Like, you just want Zoroarks plus your Coco and your Oranguru. All right, so he did prize double Zorua. So, but it doesn't excuse not taking the second Zorua. I thought it was just double puzzle that he prized, but it's double puzzle, double Zorua. Yeah, it doesn't excuse not taking the second Zorua. And I really do not like the Wimpod bench. Leave this open to double puzzle for another Zorua. You need the draw power still. Kettler is going to lose this game. It's going to be because he isn't able to draw anything he needs. For Natalia... Guzma kill that Zorua would be ideal, and I think she has the play in hand. Do they play 3 Lele? Really interesting. Yeah, 3 Lele. All right. She has DCE and she has Lele for Guzma. So I would like to see that Zorua go down once again. Yep, she's gonna take it out without draw power. Kettler's deck is not gonna be able to keep up. It's not gonna be able to be efficiently keep up. Like that's how the Zoroark decks work. They overwhelm your opponent through draw power. So we see just get rid of the Zorua, especially with how the game has been playing out. She knows that that's his only way to do anything. Another Lele top deck is pretty good here from Kettler. Once again, this Golisopod is literally just going to clog the bench. It's pretty useless on the bench this early. Later in the game, I don't hate setting it up to try and do like a crossing cut to close out a game. But this early, with the way the situation is playing out, it's just going to clog the bench. The Golisopod is. I really do not like that Golisopod bench there from Kettler. DC Zorua probably. Or DC Zorua. He goes for the Ace Arola. Yeah, I think that's fine. He has the Ace Arola in hand, so he can like go Lele for Ace Arola next turn if he wants. It's not great. Not much of a choice, I don't think. Nestball from Natalia, another Hoopa. Basically the best attacker for her in this matchup. The only thing that can hit it is Coco and Oranguru, I think. I haven't seen a Mewtwo from Kettler, but he might play one. And then Smack for 80. Kettler drew. Get Ultra Ball. So he's going to Wonder Tag, I guess, for the Acerola. I don't know what his plan is past that. I don't know what he's going for here. Once again, no Zoroark set up. Ultra Ball for Zorua. So then he's going to set up a Zorua. And then he needs to actually like sacrifice something to get knocked out. Yeah, he needs to just let something get knocked out here. He could just let the Coco get knocked out, I guess. I would maybe just send up the Mew for 2 turns. Let the Mew go. Treat to Lele. All right, so he's going to let the Lele take the hits early on. I don't know why. I guess he could let it get 3-shot. That's fine. Mysterious Treasure from Natalia. I'm not sure what she discarded there. I don't want to see. It's hard for me to click through this video because it's so big. It's like 11 hours. Yeah, sure. Maybe get rid of an N instead. You're so far ahead. I don't know if you're gonna be using N's at this point. Another Guzma. Or another. She could go for Lele for Guzma, but at that point you're actually running out of Guzmas. I would maybe at this point just take the hit on the Lele. She does identify that the draw is all Kettler has though. I would have, yeah, I think I would have definitely treasured away an N there if you're doing this play. You're going down to 3 prizes. You still have 1 N in hand, so you still have a draw supporter. I think the thought process here from Natalia is then I can super rod in the darks, but I'd much rather have a dark in my hand to use next turn, for sure, personally. DCE retreat. I don't know why she didn't go dark to a Lele retreat. She wants to set up the Hoopa. Now, I mean, the problem with that is now it's really easy to trap Mewtwo active if Kettler wants to, because you need a DC to retreat it every time. I'm not a big fan of that. I think I would have much rather seen leave the DC on the Mewtwo and go like attach to Lele, retreat it. Your hope is looking for at least another turn for sure. I think we finally see an N from Kettler, so we're gonna finally see Kettler draw some actual cards. But once again, the game. Oh, yeah. See, now there's the Guzman. This is why I didn't like the DCE discard. Much rather seen the dark to a Lele, retreat the Lele, or the Kartana. I think Kartana has run retreat cost too, and also treasure away the N, not the dark. Because once again, if you're playing to avoid, ending your opponent, then you want to have something to do in your hand. So that's why you leave the dark in your hand and you treasure away the N. Leave the dark in your hand. Also, yeah, like I said, I don't like the discard on the Mewtwo here. You know what your hand is. You know you can't move it next turn, except for a top deck. And then even later in the game, this becomes a liability to be pulled active, and then Coco getting many spreads off. So yeah, not a big fan of the DC discard here. Would have much rather seen a dark discard here. You have still 1 dark on your Hoopa, it's whatever. And then once again, leave dark in your hand instead of treasuring it away. Treasure away the N. You don't want to end anytime soon. We've already went over that. Skyla top deck here. Oh, there's a Cynthia in the hand too. I guess one of those was off the prize. Skyla or Cynthia was off prize / top deck. Both of them were off prize / top deck. So we see Cynthia ideally draw a DCE. This is a really bad position to be in now. All right, there's the DCE. Swing for 50. No need to retreat. You're not. You are setting up a 2-shot if you did retreat, but the thing is, Kettler probably doesn't have a Guzma anyways. I would have actually I think I would have liked to have seen the retreat to the Hoopa, force the 2-shot. You know he probably just top decked the Guzma as well. I don't like this choice band attachment here. Now Natalia can bring up this Golisopod and trap it. Now you can't float stone this Golisopod. I am not a big fan of this choice band attachment here. I think this choice band attachment here, probably should have just been on the Coco. I think he's putting it here thinking he wants to crossing cut eventually a a GX. But now Natalia will have the option to actually just bring up that Golisopod and trap it active at some point if she wants. Not a big fan of that. Oh, I guess no. I guess the Mewtwo attack. Excuse me. The Mewtwo attack does have the 2-shot into the Hoopa. The only thing is the enhanced hammer. But I guess if you're playing like he's dead drawing, that was fine. No, but if you're gonna retreat it anyways, so Natalia attacked with the Mewtwo for 50. Then you can go into 80 with the Hoopa to knock it out. But that means you're planning to retreat the Mewtwo anyway. So then I would just retreat the Mewtwo then immediately. I guess it does play around another Guzma from Kettler, but you had another DC in your hand, so that already, like, if he goes Guzma for the turn, then you have DC retreat. If he doesn't go Guzma for the turn, well, then the Mewtwo is still just on the bench. I guess he could get the counter catcher off a supporter technically as a gust effect as well, but I would have just retreated immediately as Natalia, get the Mewtwo out of there and attack with the Hoopa. Thinking about going to Coco, really no good options. Once again, and literally Kettler put himself in this position all because he didn't bridge it for double Zorua turn 1. He just bridged it for double Zorua turn 1. He would have been fine. Instead, he gets off his tech attackers for the matchup immediately for no reason, and then ends up in this really poor situation. Special charge for 2 of those. Didn't see a draw supporter in Natalia's hand. See though, Kettler's board is a really bad spot either way. Natalia has. I think it's gonna be a pass from Natalia. So her hand is dark Hoopa, I think. So I actually don't like the special charge play right there. You don't. DC isn't enough to win you the game. You'd much rather draw a draw supporter. So I would have liked to have seen her just not play the special charge, and then play to try and find a draw supporter. So if you don't put the 2 DC in the deck, you have a higher chance of drawing a draw supporter. Just attach the Dark. You have second Dark in hand, so you can utilize Mewtwo on the next turn. Yeah, not a big fan of that. Once again, another Acerola from Kettler. I would have much rather seen Natalia just attach pass. Don't play the special charge yet. Wait until you find a draw supporter, because now you have less chance of finding a draw supporter on the next turn. You'd rather top deck a draw supporter than a DCE. DCE is not going to win you the game. Back into a Rangaroo for Kettler. I think this is definitely what he has to do. Guzma, sure. Yeah, he's going to eventually have to. I think Kettler's game plan here is going to be super scrappy, and he has to play, literally has to play to try and run Natalia out of resources. Attack from Natalia. 50. I don't know what Kettler has in. He has a Guzma. What else does he have? That's it. Guzma up, Lele or Kartana, I guess. You bring Lele up. No, you don't. Lele's, because Lele can knock this out. You bring up Kartana here, even though Kartana could go like Metal Draw Prize. I mean, they both can retreat and go into the Hoopa, I guess. And then once again, here we see the DCE top deck. It's not terrible here, but you much rather would have top decked a supporter. I think we're just going to see DCE hit for 80 or hit for 40. I think it's fine. You could just retreat, hit for 80. Yeah, I think retreat hit for 80 is better. You can also just look to build up a huge Lele. I think that's actually fine here as Natalia. Just make a big Lele. Okay, we see a Parallel City out of Kettler. This is huge. He can use this to clean up his bench finally. Maybe look to make room for Zoruas. Field Blower immediately. I would get rid of the Choice Band here if I was him. Can double puzzle for that later when you need it to set up that combo. Then we see a Bridget. Should see double Zorua finally. Would have much rather seen this on turn 1, but here we are. Double Zorua finally comes out. Yeah, I think from Natalia, I would like to have seen this be pressured a little bit more. Set up a 2-shot on this Lele. The 40 damage doesn't really set up a 2-shot. It sets up a 3-shot. Could have just retreated to the Hoopa. Once again, this might have been one of those DCEs she top decked because she special charged it back into deck. We would have much rather seen a draw supported this turn than a DCE or a Guzma. Guzma would have been nice too. I'm not sure about this from Kettler. Pass. Okay. Now she gets to freely hit it for 80 or retreat hit it for 80 with. But I don't understand this play from Kettler at all. I just leave the Lele active, right? What do you gain from doing this? Yeah, we see Natalia just retreat to Hoopa. There's no way your hand, and now she's just gonna get a free 80. And then what is your what was the point of this from? I don't understand what the point of this was from Kettler. Retreating to Hoopa. I'm retreating to Golisopod. What does that accomplish? She can always just retreat her Lele, and then you're stuck. Your hand is one card. It's not Grass Energy Guzma. I mean, you might trade into Grass Energy Guzma now, and then you could GX, I guess, but that's kind of unreasonable. And I'm sure Kettler knows that. Just leave Lele up. You know the Lele can't get one shot. I'm pretty sure, right? There's no way the Lele gets one shot. Yeah, there's no way Lele gets one shot. So I don't know what he was thinking here with this play at all. Now you have to find a Grass Energy to GX. Oh, he finds Acerola. He's gotten very lucky with continuously finding Acerola. It's actually kind of a little bit ridiculous. I think he only plays one. I don't know for sure, actually. But it's actually been a little bit ridiculous with how often he has found this Acerola. Now he's thinking about what to retreat back into. He's trying to just stall more. I think attacking with a Rangaroo here is fine. Get the Acerola back, get something else back. Going to Zoroark is, I guess, also fine. You look to find double puzzle next turn. You don't want to give up any more prizes, though, for sure. So yeah, don't give up a prize. Yeah, going to Zoroark's fine, I guess. It doesn't feel great from Kettler because you're just letting Natalia do damage for free. Yeah, that oh man, he had to get so lucky there. Like that retreat into the Golisopod was really bad. That was really bad from Kettler, actually. Not worse. Actually, I don't know. It's probably tied with the Bridget choice on the turn 1. That was really bad, though. I don't understand that at all. Also, I would, like I said before, I don't like the choice band attachment initially to the Golisopod either, because it means it can just get stuck and you can't floatstone it, or Natalia could bring it up and stick it active. But just leave the Lele active with the floatstone. It can't be one shot next turn. Like, you have some breathing room there. And then if you have to top deck draw into Acerola like he had to, you Acerola that Lele. Like, there's no, like, I don't understand that play at all from Kettler. Lotto from Natalia, nothing. Unfortunately, Natalia's bench is actually full right now, so she can't nest ball for a Rangaroo, Instructor Rangaroo. She is kind of stuck here. I will finally see some trades from Kettler. Finally has 2 Zoroark set up. See what he's got. Trade number 2. I see a Mallow. I see a Puzzle, a Grass. Yeah, just Mallow put looking at Guzma here. I don't hate it. I'm not a huge fan. I would say Mallow just put Acerola on top. Put a Puzzle and something else on top of your deck. This might be unnecessary. Getting Golisopod is definitely unnecessary, but I don't know if there was a better card actually this time around. Just like to focus in. So we saw Natalia not attach the Fighting Fury belt she had in hand. I think she should have just attached it to this Hoopa. You don't want to draw into it here, and it's you're almost never getting the value out of the plus 10 damage anyway. So just try and make the maybe you can make the HP worth it more on a N. I don't know. I think I would have attached a Fighting Fury belt here. You just don't want to see it again, really. We got the energy to retreat. That's all we're really looking for. Attack with Hoopa, get that knockout. Now you're down to 2 prizes. Kartana hopefully can eventually take a prize. That's what you're looking for. And then so you kind of need to squeak out one more. You can knock out the Coco. So we see the Mallow here. So we see Mallow first. Another mistake from Kettler. Why would you Mallow when you have 2 trades available? Trade first. What if you just trade into the 2 cards you could have Mallow for? Then you just don't Mallow for the turn probably, and then you can just trade again, save the Mallow for the next turn. So that was a pretty poor Mallow from Kettler. He should have traded first and then Mallowed and then traded. See, now we see second trade. Immediately, his first action should have been trade away choice band, see what he gets, then go Mallow. Now you have more options to trade away as well. So super poor once again from Kettler. We see Enhanced Hammer here though from Kettler. We should see that coming out. E-Hammer. If he has double puzzle, should see double puzzle into a Rangaroo. I think a Rangaroo E-Hammer, I think, is what I would take here. The Parallel City doesn't really do anything. I guess he's maybe trying to clean up his bench. He doesn't want to lose any prizes. I don't know what he takes here. Takes Guzma. We'll see the resource management. Double puzzle, Parallel City. I don't know. It's kind of hard because he's double puzzle prize, but I guess you almost always take double puzzle there. Acerola from Natalia brings up another Hoopa attach. She has a lot of options in hand. Now I don't think you bench the other Hoopa yet. You want to leave a way to get trade 1, trade 2. He needs to find a way to move this Orangaroo. He has the Guzma to move it. Doesn't have a way to really do anything on his turn. Yeah, he can move it, but he's not really doing anything for turn. Maybe he's just passing with Lele active. You see the Zoroark. He could KO the Mewtwo, but that doesn't feel great. Yeah, KO on the Mewtwo. Then a Poopa from Natalia. Poopa, Latios. I don't know about that Latios, but it doesn't really do anything yet. I think I'd rather see the Hoopa come down. And then maybe also Nest Ball for a Rangaroo if it's not prized. The Instructor Rangaroo. Just so if Kettler does hit you with an N on the next turn, you have something to draw out of it. A little bit extra draw out of it. Yeah, I would have. Yeah, so then we draw into 3 Hoopa. One of those could have been on the bench. I don't understand the. I don't really understand the Latios bench. I don't know what she's thinking with that. I would have much rather seen a Hoopa get benched. And once again, we see the drawing of all 3 Hoopas. So one of those would have definitely been on the bench. So Kettler not in a great spot. I don't know what his plan is here. I'm interested to see what he does. I think you have to Guzma something off the bench. Don't attach a choice band to the Golisopod. Please don't. There's no need for it. Don't do it. I think we have to see a Guzma here from. Also, there was a mistake here on Kettler's side. He could have played. He's Ultra Balling away now, but he could have played the Evo Soda to fake evolve the Golisopod and then Ultra Ball away Mew plus the Wimpod. Because of Cynthia, yeah. So he should have attempted to Evo Soda this Wimpod before evolving it, and then Ultra Ball away some other stuff. Get rid of that Mew out of the deck. You don't need the Mew for anything. So another misstep on Kettler's side. Got Parallel City, so he can clean up his bench if he wants. He does not have anything else though. I don't think he's traded yet. He has Acerola for next turn, so he could leave the Zoroark active. The Zoroark can't die here, but I think he's thinking he wants to Acerola the Orangaroo, which I actually agree with. Um, Acerola, Rangaroo. So now we see Ultra Ball from Natalia. Gonna get Mewtwo, I think. She has another Super Rod in there. So she's going for Latios. I don't know about. She's probably not gonna bench it though. I don't think. Rangaroo's not in there that I saw. So it's either prize or they don't, or she doesn't play it. So it's just gonna be N. I think you bench the Hoopa here. I don't see a reason not to bench the other Hoopa here. They just keep swinging with this Hoopa, obviously. She's running really low on draw supporters. She's gonna go with for 80. I don't see a reason not to end, but I don't think it's necessary. Like, there's nothing that she could really draw into anyways. If she benched the Hoopa, she could draw into energy for it. This Hoopa's not really in any threat, though. So I don't hate kind of just draw passing here. Pick up a Rangaroo, put it down. Is there a reason? She probably should have ended. She needs to see different cards. Yeah, I think Natalia should have ended there. She needs to see different cards. We'll see the resource management from the Rangaroo. So you don't put the Acerola into your deck now because you have double puzzle. Get rid of the Lele, I like that. Get rid of the Coco, I like that. You have to get rid of those. Don't double puzzle. Is there a reason to double puzzle? No. You want to just find Acerola next turn, right? Oh, he's gonna find it here, I guess. I would rather have double puzzle in hand though, I think, for options. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that. Double puzzle there from Kettler. I think you could have held the double puzzle. No, I guess you'd rather have a Acerola in the deck as it is. You just need to find Acerola. But he doesn't have a Guzma, does he? I mean, not a Guzma. He has the Acerola, but he doesn't have a Floatstone. I think Floatstone was in the discard pile too. Counter Catcher's cute here. Counter Catcher Lele. Acerola. I don't know about setting up Calistopod though. Now here's where you definitely end as Natalia. I guess you get the first impression off. It's not great though. Oh, we got Sycamore actually. Oh, and she has Acerola. Yeah, go with the Acerola. Acerola's actually pretty clean here. And you get to just hold the Lele. Now you have another option for supporter finding supporters. Trade number 1. All right, the Flowstone. Oh, the Flowstone was in the deck. Okay, I thought it was in the discard pile. Oh, does he play 2 Acerola? Okay, that kind of answers why he always is able to find Acerola. Counter Catcher the Lele again. Float. We're actually at the point where Kettler can go infinite. Puzzle and probably Counter Catcher here actually, because you just want to be able to keep bringing something up, and Counter Catcher. All good. Draw from Natalia. Well, we have a way to retreat. But once again, Kettler is at a point where he can go infinite. So Natalia will just eventually run out of energy, and actually we see she is actually out of energy. And so she's gonna go with an N. I don't know actually if this N was correct. She needs to draw a way to retreat. If she doesn't draw a way to retreat or attack, then Kettler's just gonna be able to put everything back into his deck and set him up into a position where Natalia can't win. I think we should have seen Natalia Sycamore. She does end up getting DCE here though, so she can just hit for 80, which is fine here with the Lele. I don't think you retreat to the Hoopa. Maybe you just retreat to the Hoopa. You're gonna choose not to attack here. Thinking how many cards left in deck. Yeah, I don't know why she wouldn't attack you. I don't know what she expects to gain out of this. You just inevitably lose in this situation if you don't attack. So yeah, I don't like the N. I think she should have Sycamore and just been aggressive. I mean, at this point, maybe she's thinking she just wants to play for a tie, which isn't terrible, actually. It's actually going to be hard for Kettler to set up a win right now. We see the Acerola. I think I want to see him in resource management one more time, maybe. But it looks like he's just going to go for the Coco play. Trades again. Yeah, I would like to see him in resource management one more time. Acerola, Guzma, DCE. DCE is not relevant. Cynthia's cool, though. Reset your hand. Guzma. Unnecessary, I think. You already have Counter Catcher and Guzma in your hand. One Counter Catcher, one Guzma. I would get like a Cynthia so you can reset your hand. He might have one of those in hand as well, though. Nest Ball from Natalia. Just don't take anything, I don't think. Yeah, don't take anything. I think she's just trying to make sure she doesn't deck out at this point. I don't think she really has a solid win condition. I think she's just playing for the tie at this point. Guzma the Hoopa. He's gonna go for the confuse. I think this is fine. I would have almost been fine with just Coco spread, keeping it locked and Coco spreading though. But he's going for the kill here on the Hoopa. Talia retreats. Yep. Into Lele. And I think this is where Kettler could just go into Coco spreading. We'll see what he does though. He has options. He might go for the KO. Double puzzle. Lower. Yeah, he's gonna KO the Hoopa. We're pretty much the only threat in play. Yep. And he knows the only threat past that would be Lele. Gets the enhanced hammer. But with 4 minutes left, I'm pretty sure Natalia is going to be able to play this one into a tie. I don't see a way that Kettler is actually able to draw. Well, maybe 4 prizes. No, he needs to. Yeah, 4 prizes is too much to take. So I'm pretty sure Kettler does play to Acerola. I actually still haven't been able to tell if he plays to Acerola. Yeah, I guess I'm fine with the end from Natalia. I mean, it's sometimes hard for me to get a read on the game state. I don't know her list exactly, but if she felt like she couldn't win the game, this punch is fine. If she felt like she couldn't win the game and then she's just playing for a tie, like that's fine. Let's play for a tie then. Yep, Acerola puzzle from Kettler. Professor's letter from Natalia. 2 minutes left. We should see a tie here. There's not even a win pot on Kettler's bench right now to go for the GX attack. So yeah, if Natalia felt like the only way she wasn't gonna be able to pull out a win and she should just play for a tie, then it makes sense. I don't know why Kettler is still doing this. So he's gonna go N. Okay. Is it faster to kill through Coco? It is faster to kill through Coco, right? How much are you doing with that? 90 opposed to 50-20. No, I guess it is faster to kill through Orangaroo. Oh, this actually might get close. Kettler might be able to close one out. See what Natalia has. He is going for the kill here. Kettler is. 1 minute left. That's a Sycamore. Definitely just play it. It's an Ultra Ball. There is Lele in the deck. But I think she's thinking about she just wants to retreat the Lele. But if you could Ultra Ball for Lele for Acerola, and then the other Lele could get you support on the next turn. Yeah, this is way better. Ultra Ball for Lele for Acerola is actually really good here. You Acerola this guy up, or this Lele up, send up Latios. Yeah. And then now you have a Lele for another support on next turn if you need to dig for something to like get out of a shitty situation that Kettler puts you in. 3 seconds, 1 second, that's time. So that should just be a tie. From from the players here. It should just be a tie. I don't think there's any way for either player to win. Turn 0 from Kettler. 0, 1, 2. So Kettler has one more turn. So there shouldn't be a way for Kettler to win. I don't think there's a way for Natalia to win. And a Porter's coming out. And pass. Kettler. C. Thinking. I don't see a win condition. I'd be really excited if there was a win condition here from Kettler. I don't see a win condition here from Kettler. I think he had to play it a little bit differently. He had to try and get Golisopod set up. Some of his resource managements definitely had to go to towards Wimpod, Golisopod, or some of his puzzle takes had to go to Golisopod, Wimpod, and set up for the GX attack, which he didn't do. He's thinking hard about this one. Yeah, it just has to be resource management this turn with 2 cards left in deck, I think. Puzzle and Guzma. Yeah, he definitely does eventually win this one if there's no time, but that's not the state we're in, so puzzle, field blower. He's gonna put puzzle on top. Get the double puzzle off that. I don't even know if it really matters. Draw from Natalia. Can you end a porter? End a porter only does special energy, actually, right? Yeah. Just Skyla for Super Rod, Dark Energy probably. I can't imagine, or maybe Metal. Yeah, probably get a Metal Energy, Dark Metal. Never know. Might just want to hit him with the Kartana. So that's the attack from Kettler, but I'm pretty sure it ends up in a tie. I don't. Was that his last two prizes actually? I don't think so. It maybe was. I don't think it was though. I don't think Kettler won there. Maybe he did. It says he has 4 prizes up there, so I think he has. I've been thinking he has 4 prizes left. I don't know. He may actually has he taken enough knockouts? I don't think so, right? No, I think it goes to a tie there. I'm pretty sure that one ends up in a tie. So we see a tie from Natalia and John Kettler there, and this all goes back to. So this matchup is pretty favored for Kettler. There's definitely potential to win on Natalia's side if you can be aggressive enough early on, just get enough damage in play, and then just keep punching with stuff. But I think we see it come to a tie here. And the reason it comes to a tie is all because Kettler just didn't get 2 Zorua on his first Bridget. I don't know what he was thinking with his initial Bridget, but it should have just been for 2 Zorua. He did prize 2 Zorua, so initially I was saying should have been triple Zorua, but 2 were prized. So that's reasonable, but there's no reason not to take 2 Zorua there. So he put himself in a really shitty spot off the start for no reason by taking only 1 Zorua, and we see it come down to a tie here with Kettler versus Natalia. I'm actually not sure if this ends in a tie. Kettler maybe won that. I don't know for sure here, actually. Definitely looking like it was possible that Kettler won, but I'm pretty sure. Let's just rewatch it real fast one more time. I'm pretty sure it ends up in a tie here. That pass. Chillin'. All right, pass. Kettler goes. Okay, draw. He flips over 2 cards here, and I can't tell if there's more. Maybe I don't think he won. I'm pretty sure that was 4 prizes left, so I'm pretty sure it ends up in a tie there. Once again, I'm not actually sure. It looked like it ended up in a tie. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, ends up in a tie. Kettler would have just won if he had just gotten 2 Zorua out on his first Bridget. Instead, he doesn't even get greedy. Like, the play was just poor to get the Oranguru and Coco. Until you set up an established board, getting those that early just doesn't do anything. So yeah, super poor Bridget choice there from Kettler, and I think we saw a couple. Yeah, that the setting up the Galissapod was really bad. He had to get lucky on that one. If he didn't get that, he probably loses. If he doesn't find that Ace Roller there, he probably loses. Putting the choice band on the Galissapod as well was bad. Getting the Wimpod in general was bad. A lot of poor early decisions from Kettler, but eventually towards the end of the game, he kind of figures out the matchup, I feel like, and figures out that he can kind of infinite loop and just run Natalia out of resources. He just did it. He maybe even knew about what he needed to do going into the matchup, but he definitely executed it super poorly early on, like very, very poorly. He's able to make a better game out of it towards the end. So I think they end up in a tie. I'm actually not sure. Someone in the comments, if you know, correct me. Let me know. I actually don't know. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for the other round 6 match that I found. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Links for all of my social media, my link to my Twitch channel in the description below. Check that all out. Appreciate you watching, and have a good day, guys. Peace.